guys, what's up? It's Shelby and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing my nails. I have them all filled and stuff. They are not painted yet or anything. I'm going to be painting them with you guys. Okay, anyways, so I'm going to be painting them with you guys while I tell you guys a story, a true crime story, of course. These nails can be purchased on my Etsy shop that is linked down below. If you didn't know, I started a nail business, a press-on nail business. If you want custom designs, you can DM me on Facebook, Instagram, or on Etsy, and yeah. So otherwise you can just buy the ones that are already pre-made on my shop as well, so go ahead and check that out, and let's just get right into this video. A desk type thing to do my nails on, so I just have my little blanket, and I'm gonna just be doing my nails like this. So I'm going to be doing Hocus Pocus nails. So today we're going to be talking about David Ortiz Jr. And this is a little Halloween episode because Halloween is on Saturday. I hope everybody has a safe and fun Halloween. But anyways, let's get back. So this case happened in on Halloween in 2010. I'm actually going to be talking about kind of two different cases that are like related to each other because it happened to like the same family. So yeah. So David Ortiz, I don't know how you say it, Jr. was born November 22nd, 1991 to his mother Elizabeth and his father David Ortiz. Had another brother named Charles, and then an older sister named Nicole. David was said to have been really well-mannered, kind kid growing up. Even as an adult, he was very kind, well-mannered, and like just a well-rounded person. That he was very respectful of like everybody pretty much, and he had a really big and kind heart. He did have a child at the time of his disappearance, and he was, I think, about 1 when David went missing, and his child's name was Joshua, and Joshua's mom and David actually were going through a pretty big custody dispute because their relationship just didn't work out, and they were fighting for custody of Joshua pretty much during this time. So Joshua was said to be a really good dad. He was so caring and proud of his son. He was proud to have a son, and he tried to be in his life as much as he possibly could be, you know, in it, despite this whole custody thing, even though sadly he did not get to be in Joshua's life that often because of it, because his mother ended up getting custody of Joshua. But just before his disappearance on October 28th of 2010, his mom, and his dad went to court for visitation, and they were actually granted visitation. So they wasted no time because they hadn't really seen Joshua very much between this time. So they wanted to get as much, you know, like see him as quickly as they possibly could. So they went over to his baby mama's house, and they saw Joshua on the 30th. So just the night before Joshua had went missing, or not Joshua, just the night before he had gone missing. But in 2010, stuff was going really well for David besides this whole custody thing. He had many opportunities ahead of him. He was like in a good time in his life, and he was ready to, you know, kind of get his own place, start his own life, and just do good. Had a lot of opportunities ahead of him, and he was not one to just wait around and wait for stuff to happen for him. He was willing to do whatever he had to do to accomplish these goals in his life that he wanted to accomplish. His mother and him were actually getting their GEDs together, which they were really excited about doing together because it was something they both kind of encouraged each other to do, because neither of them had finished high school, and they decided like hey, let's do it together, you know. And so it was something that they really looked forward to getting, and they were actually really close to getting it, but David sadly never got to receive it. But his mother would go on to say that she got it for him. David had also had plans to go out hunting for his first time just in like the next following month, because the hunting season is usually in like November. So hunting season was coming up and David was gonna go for the first time, and he was super excited about it. He loved the outdoors. He loved, you know, being outside, exploring, stuff like that. It was something he really enjoyed. Let these coats dry and I will be right back. These are dried, and I threw a matte top coat on just in case I mess up and have to restart. So let me just open these up really quick. Like I said, he went to see his son for the first time in a while on the 20, what did I say, on the 30th, right? So it was now Halloween, and he had plans to meet up with a couple of his friends. He was only 18 at this time, remember? So he had plans to meet up with his friends and go trick-or-treating with them. And that was like later that night, you know, because usually when you're older you go trick-or-treating a little bit later. At night you let all the kids go first and then y'all go at night. I don't know if that's where it is everywhere, but that's kind of how it was like for us. But anyways, they had plans that night, so he left his house. I'm not exactly sure about what time, but he left his parents' house to go to his grandparents' house to just kind of chat, say hi, say, you know, happy Halloween, whatever. And then he left their house at about 5 o'clock that afternoon. And little did his family know that that would be the last time they ever talked to David. So like I said, he was supposed to be going to his friend's house, but from what I've seen, he never made it there. I cannot confirm that if he made it there or not. I haven't seen any testimonies like from his friends saying that, yeah, he made it that night, like we were good. What I seen the last time he was talked to or seen was at his grandparents' house. But a couple people around town said that they saw him downtown, kind of walking around downtown with his friends. Some say they seen him at a food basket. Some say they saw him at a trailer park, but none of the witnesses, like none of these could be confirmed. Alrighty, so like I said, that was about like the last time anybody saw him, but he was not reported missing until November 3rd of 2010, and that is when the search for him had begun officially. I don't know if his parents were searching before that or if they figured, nah, like he'll come back, you know, he's probably just out with his friends or what, but he was officially reported missing on the 3rd. It's pretty much what I'm getting at here. So like I said, the police were searching for him, but there was like nothing really that they could go off of. It was pretty much like he just kind of left with no trace. It was like he wasn't anywhere. They got a tip to search this like old, I think it was a barn house or a shed or something, but they got a warrant for it to search like the property and the inside and stuff, but it didn't go anywhere. They didn't find him, they didn't find anything of his, and they were back to having nothing again, which is pretty much how this case continues for quite a while. This case went cold till about April in 2011 when a tip came in to search a landfill in the area or surrounding area. I don't exactly know where, but they got a tip to search this landfill. They thought maybe, you know, they saw something or something. So the police went down there with a search warrant, of course, and they searched. and searched the whole landfill, and again came out with absolutely nothing. They could not find anything of his, no belongings, nothing of David's was recovered. This case went cold again up until about a year later in June of 2012, when the police got another tip from somebody to go search a house in the area. So again, they got a search warrant and everything, and they went down there, but they could not find anything. The police were just getting tips, and they were trying to investigate them, but there was nothing to really investigate. They had no evidence for pretty much anything. It was really hard to try to bring this case to a close for the families, for him, you know, so they could either give him a proper burial or bring him home. But there was nothing that the police could really put together to close this case. And again, in July of 2012, they got another search warrant for a house in Silver City. The house before, I forgot to mention, was in South Belm in Santa Clara. And then they got another tip to go to a house in Silver City where Joshua actually lived and where he went missing. But again, nothing came from it at all, really. It was just going cold. There was no suspects, there was no leads that led to anything. There was lead after lead, but none of the leads were following through for anything. It was seriously like he just disappeared off the face of the earth. So now I'm going to talk about one more lead that the police got, then we are going to talk about the other part to this case. It's not really anything like super significant to this case, but it kind of is. So an inmate in North Dakota got in contact with the police in New Mexico where he went missing, and the inmate had sent over a map with an X on it where he pretty much was kind of saying like, you're gonna find remains here. So they figured out the map and they got to the location that this little house was circled at, and they searched it everywhere, and they did find bones. The bones ended up not even being human. They were actually animal bones. So again, back to having no leads anymore. And one other thing too, I forgot. This is not working, as you can tell. Alright, this is the best I'm gonna do to get my cat. Whatever. So, now let's talk about Nicole. You may have heard me mention her before. Nicole was David's sister. What? Brother? No. Sister. Nicole was actually killed September 29th of 2010. So their family has suffered tragic losses. Nicole was born on November 13th of 1990, and she was a lot like David. She loved the outdoors. She was very kind and respectful. She was a very happy person. She really wanted to further her education. She was very passionate about that, about getting, a higher level of education. She also had a son. His name was Damien. He was 2 months old when she was murdered, which is so incredibly sad. But she loved her son. She was a great mother to anybody who knew her. She did so much with him. She was just the most amazing mother any kid could ask for. anything the kid needed, wanted. Anytime she was there, her kid was there. She was really, really a good mom. Nicole actually went by Nikki, is kind of the nickname she went by. She lived with her boyfriend Christopher, with Christopher Calloway, her boyfriend, and a little trailer home with I don't know if it was his son or not, but they lived with Damien as well. She had custody of her kid either way. They weren't living like a great life or anything. I mean, they were, not the most wealthy people, but she seemed to be pretty happy with her life that she had. I'm not sure how well their relationship or anything was. I couldn't find much on it. Like I said, she lived in a little trailer park, and that is actually where her body would be discovered by police on September 29th, 2010 at 4 a.m. Now, the police were going to go do a wellness check on them. I'm not sure if somebody called and was just like, hey, nothing's going on over there, and usually there's stuff going on. I mean, they had a little baby over there, so obviously they were up pretty early, something. So somebody called and was like, something's not right. So the police went over and did a little wellness check on, her and the kid and the boyfriend. Alright, while my nails are drying and stuff, I'm just going to talk to you guys up here and while I cure them and stuff. So pretty much they interviewed Christopher, her boyfriend, and he had a pretty odd story. It was one that nobody really believed, to be honest. But what he said happened that night is he was drinking and she was there, and they decided to play Russian roulette. And he had 2 pistols out, and they ended up fighting over some beans. I don't really know what that was about, but apparently they fought over beans and then decided to play Russian roulette to an extent, which I don't understand, because how do you play Russian roulette to an extent? You either play it or you don't. So apparently he took all the shotgun shells out, or not all the shotgun shells, but all of the shells out of his pistol, and then, except for one, of course, that's how you play Russian roulette. Then he put the gun to his head, clicked it twice, nothing happened, and apparently Nikki grabbed the gun away from him, put it to her head, and shot it. And according to him, he tried to grab the gun away from her, but if they were playing Russian roulette, why would he? But either way, she shot the gun and ended up killing herself. That's what he said. He said he called the police and anyone else who would help, which is very suspicious. Who else is gonna help somebody who shot themselves in the head? I feel like police, 911 would be it. But then again, if he called a 911, why did the police find her that next morning during a wellness check? It wouldn't have been a wellness check. If you say somebody shot themselves in the head, they would be over there. And it ended up finding out that she did not kill herself the way the gunshot went in. It wouldn't have been possible for her to do it herself. So they arrested Christopher, who decided to take a plea of no contest to 2 out of the 5 charges, and the charges that he completed that he wanted dropped. If he did this plea, 3 of the charges out of the 5 would be dropped if he pleaded no contest to the 2, and the one that he did get dropped was the murder charge, which I think is bull. You got child abuse with no bodily harm, and then negligent use of a firearm. His max sentence was 3 years and a fine of it was either $5,500 or $55 or $550 or $5,500. I don't know. But either way, it wasn't nearly enough because he took her life. I don't know. And the other weird things that happened was 2 other people in connection to David also passed away. One OD'd and one got into a car wreck. So it's kind of odd about that. The Ortizes took in Damien, but they still could not see Joshua, and it is said that that David is not alive anymore. The family have an open grave for him next to his older sister's grave, Nikki's. it's just odd that he would just go off after finally getting to be able to see his son again, that he would just run off and not come back. It's just odd to everybody that he would do this. They know that something happened, and the other odd thing is he went missing the day after he saw his son again. So his mother, Elizabeth, believes 100% that it was murder for hire from his baby mama. She had posted something about like both of my parents like partner, like baby daddy, baby mamas, you know, killed my kids, and I can't imagine the pain she is going through losing 2 kids so quickly. Like, that's just, and losing your grandchild in the midst of it because of what happened, which is just awful. It is rumored that he has been buried in the desert in El Paso, that he was beaten and thrown into a car. And somebody also told his parents that he was dismembered, burned, and fed to pigs, which is just awful. How do you tell somebody's mother that after losing their son? I don't know. It's just gross. But I do believe it was murder for hire. I think his baby mama had something to do with it. She sounds kind of like a bitter baby mama. Like, she was fighting so hard for this custody thing, and I guess it was pretty like, not gruesome, but you know what I mean. Like, it was a rough custody battle, and they finally were like, yeah, you can see him, and then all of a sudden he goes missing. Like, I don't know. That just seems a little odd to me. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Thank you guys for watching. I'm not great at this whole nail thing, like doing my nails and doing it, so I hope it was okay. Thank you guys though for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.